Hello, my name's Andy and welcome to the garage.
Here we have my next restoration, Corgi Toys, Jaguar police car, heavily play worn, part broken off the top there on the roof, tyres missing, but nonetheless it is complete, it's all there, it's not been stood on, so I'm looking forward to doing this one. I hope you are too. So let's get on with it, shall we? Well, here's our Corgi Toys Jaguar 2.4 off the turntable. Excessively play one, I'd say. The glass, no chips or cracks I can see, so that's purely rescuable. There's a bit missing off the side here. I think there was a siren there. I've got a spare part for that. It is all intact. There's been no breakages, etc. Obviously, we're missing 4 tyres. Got 1, 2, 3 rivets to remove. Rear's okay, and a lovely looking Jag, I think you'll agree. So the next thing is to get it apart. Just going to take the base off, drill those holes. Nicely done. Front wheels. Glass is held in by another rivet. We'll have to get that out. We've got a broken aerial. I'm not a big fan of aerials on cars. They always look out of scale to me. Put that to there. We'll be doing this as original. Metal wheels. They're on quite solid. Bit of crud. Base not too rusty. Can look at those wheels later. I'm not sure how they're held on. Simple model, and that rivet will also be holding that in. So next job will be to get that out, so we can do that while we're filming. So we've already got a drill in place. It's been a tough job getting this glass free. What I ended up doing was get a pointed grinding wheel and going round it, and it just melted it, so it was the equivalent of a hot soldering iron with a socket on the end. The little chip, when I got it out, as you just saw there, that's repairable. This has got a bit of movement now, but I'll have to keep going at that with a grinding wheel. Now I've got the glass out, and there you are, Jaguar 2.4 litre on the inside. As you can see, we're back with our Corgi Toys Jaguar 2.4 litre. It's just about to get a bit of work on it, so I wanted to show you things I'd noticed. Firstly, casting lines just between the headlights and the grille, and they do extend around there just above the side lights. The bumper itself and the grille and everything else looks really nice. I'm not sure about that. I think it is a casting line. I think that needs to go. Maybe a bit of work just there. You can see that's the door line perhaps up to there. But it seems to have a bit going over there as well. The bump there, probably just stop drilling at the right time. That just needs filing down. There's a casting line there, a casting line there. Everything else looks fine. Petrol tank there, not one there. No real heavy pitting, and this line looks a lot more straighter here than it did there, so it looks like it's not a casting line, it looks like it was meant to be. So a bit of research to do. The wheels need polishing. I I've got a spare part. I can only go on one way because, as you can see, there's a little out piece there, so you always get it on right. So I'll be checking that fits okay, which it does. I don't like the aerials. I really don't like the aerials, and they just look quite ridiculous on the car. I know I haven't pushed that right in, but even so, I mean, at least it's thinner than some of the others, like on one of the cars I'm doing at the moment. This feels an aftermarket aerial because it's plastic. Don't want to come off now. And the glass, well, I'm going to my favourite car boot, so I'm hoping I see one of these with perfect glass, or I can buy a spare part. But if not, I might have to repair that, so I'm not going to touch that until I know where I stand. The next job to do is get a little file, or what I've been thinking of doing is just getting a little engraver's tool and using it like a file, like that, because it's very delicate in between here. Right, I must admit, I've not tried this before using these as hand tools, but they get quite well into the corners. Tried them on the drill, they just do oscillate a bit, even if you push them right down into the chuck. Because my other choice is a more traditional file. That's the smallest one I've got. What you don't want to do is file this headlight as well. So it's quite a delicate little job. Just going like that to get rid of that casting line. And this seems to be the better tool for this job, at least, rather than the engraving tool. Right, you don't want to see me do all that, but I'll get on with it, and we'll look at it when we've finished. That one's probably, it's going to be the same, just like that. Just going to get a flat file on that bubble there and around there. But I need to do a bit of research on Google Images first to see how this car really looked. Because to be honest, it's a bit before my time. As you can see, we're back with our Jaguar and a very similar Jaguar just to the rear. This is a Atlas Editions one, and same model I believe as ours almost. And I'm going to take my detailing cues from this model. This would be one of the introductory ones at £2.99 or £2 about 10 years ago. And I always used to get the introductory offers and get maybe one or two and then cancel. So the paint has come out really well on this Jaguar. I don't know if you can see that there. Really pleased with that. So we're just going to get ready and do some detailing. What I've just done is take the top off, and it's dumped a load of chrome paint there. So it's time to get on with this now. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. Just take a view. If I keep the model there, you should be able to. Start off with this brush and see how we go. And that's about as much as we dare do at the moment. Here is the glass from our Jaguar. It's looking pretty ropey. What I'm going to do is just give it a clean in some soapy water to take the grime off it, and then rub it down with a bit of 2000. I always use the clean piece every time. And there, it doesn't look too bad actually, does it? Some type of scrape just there. We know we've got a bit of the back missing. Overall, it's not looking too bad. So let's just see what we can do with it. What I do need to do is get rid of this rough plastic on top, and the only way I can think to do that is just file it off. We can check that the the roof sign's going to clip through there easily, so we don't want any resistance, so that's going to be fine. After some 2000, we can move down to a bit of 5000. And finally, we can put a bit of autosol on it and see how it goes. Of course, you can start all that again if you've missed a bit. You can keep going back. It's nice to get it right first time, but it doesn't always happen. Right, the glass is polished on the Jaguar, and as you may remember, we've got a little bit missing in this corner. So what I'm hoping to do, I've worked around with some plasticine and created a little mould. Never done this before. What I'm hoping to do is put a bit of UV resin into there. Just leave it in the sun. You don't have to put it under a UV light, and see how that sets. So let's have a go at that, shall we? Now the only thing to hold it onto the glass is the thickness of the glass. There's nothing behind it. I'm obviously hoping to pull the plasticine away. And what I'm going to try and do is just paint it in. There you are, you can see a dollop's gone in there. The brush is going in the bin. That'll go in the sunlight, and we'll see how we go. As you can see, our Jaguar looks really nice. Main detailing done. Just the rear lights to do. The wheels to chrome. They're a bit pitted, so I decided not to polish them but to chrome them. That was the paint used. Auto Extreme Red Gloss with lacquer on top. As you can see, we've got a box template. We've got a roof, bell and light to go on. I've had to file that down. I've already test fitted it. Now I took some advice from Mr. Martin there, and he said these would have been brass. Obviously mine are silver. So I'm going to paint this black and then gold those. We've got some decals on white. Now at the moment I'm a bit undecided. Got the original decals I copied off the internet. They're not quite square, but I don't think that will matter when I've cut them out. Done a couple of sizes, but I've also got